welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be talking to you about my 5 favorite cities in Germany. I made up this list based on my experience of traveling in Germany. I've been in Germany for 2 years now. I've lived here and studied here. I've traveled to around 15 cities in general, that is all over Germany. I know that doesn't sound that much, but it's actually pretty a lot. So this list is a mix of between the big and the small cities. 3 of them are big and 2 of them are actually smaller. And interestingly enough, both of these smaller cities I've actually lived in. So I'm gonna explain to you the list based on a timeline. So the cities that I've been at first and then the second and so on and so forth. By the way, I'm gonna insert clips of videos if I have any, or at least put in pictures of the city itself throughout my video. So let's get into it. The first city is Heidelberg. Heidelberg is a city in Baden-Württemberg in the southwest, I would say, of Germany. This is actually my first ever city. When I came to Germany, I obviously landed in the Frankfurt airport. But Heidelberg was the city that I lived at first. I lived there for 2 months before I get into my studies. I did a language course there and I absolutely love it. So Heidelberg is often labeled as the most beautiful city in Germany, even by Germans. Heidelberg is one of their favorite traveling spots for holidays because it is so beautiful. One of the main attractions is the Heidelberger Schloss or the Heidelberg Castle. You actually need to hike a pretty steep step to go up to the castle itself because it's located on a mountain, on a hill I would say, not really mountain. My other favorite spot is just to sit by the bank of the Neckar River. The Neckar River is the big river that is in Heidelberg. It actually flows through multiple cities, not just Heidelberg. And the last spot that I absolutely love going to is the Philosophenweg. It's a hiking trail that is opposite of the castle itself. So if you hike up, you're gonna be able to see the castle from afar. And as a bonus, did you know that the University of Heidelberg is actually the oldest university in Germany? So the second city is Berlin. Berlin is so historic and that is the main reason of why I love Berlin. So the first thing that I'm gonna talk about in Berlin is the main central station. You heard me right, the trains. The main central station in Berlin is really stunning. I think it is the biggest one in Germany and it's about like 4 stories high. So the next thing is, if you like shopping, you can't go wrong with Berlin because there is just so much to see and to do and to shop from. My favorite spot is the Alexanderplatz. There is tons and tons of shops there. You can go from high-end to high street in one place. And obviously you can't really talk about Berlin without mentioning the Brandenburg Gate. It is really stunning in person actually. And whenever there's a special occasion, it will be lighted up with different colors and it does look very impressive. And of course, you can't go to Berlin without looking at the Reichstag. That is the Parliament building. It is absolutely stunning. And obviously one of the landmarks that you can't miss when you visit Berlin is obviously the memorials of the Jews. It is very moving actually to go to the memorial and read about the stories. So the third city is actually Hamburg. Hamburg is pretty similar to Berlin in why I love it. Hamburg is also a very big city obviously. And it is so busy all the time, but there is absolutely so much to do. For example, you can go to the Hafen City and go take a look at the ports. It is kind of a hip place now instead of just warehouses. I absolutely love it. If you like shopping, you can't go wrong with Hamburg. In the area of Jugendfernstedt, you can shop from high-end and you can also shop for high street in the same street. It is so awesome if you love shopping. Obviously, the landmark of Hamburg is their Rathaus. Rathaus is the city town hall. It is stunning. It is the most stunning city town hall in Germany that I've seen, and I've seen a lot. Usually the city town hall is the landmark of the city and there's a hidden garden inside of it that is also so cool to look at. So let's move on to our fourth city, which is Würzburg. I actually already did a travel vlog on Würzburg. That is actually my first video on my YouTube channel ever. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's titled The Road Less Traveled, Würzburg. I actually lived in Würzburg for 6 months. I did a semester in Würzburg University. It is the smallest city on this list. If you ever go to Würzburg, the main attractions are obviously the main river, where you can go through the Alte Mainbrücke, and from there you can hike up to the landmark of Würzburg, which is the fortress of Marienberg. It is so cool to look out on Würzburg from so up high. You can also go to Julius Spital. The garden in Julius Spital is the best that there is in Würzburg, in my opinion. So the fifth and final city on my list today is Munich. Munich is a very popular city for travelers, and for a good reason. There are lots of things to do, one of them being obviously the St. Peter Church. I actually climbed all 13 stories up to the tower of St. Peter to have this view of Munich. One other thing that you should check out if you're interested in automobiles and in museums is they have the BMW Museum. If you're interested in football or soccer, as you Americans call it, and you're a fan of FC Bayern, you can't miss out on the Allianz Arena. My favorite spot in Munich is actually the Olympia Park. That is where they used to hold the Munich Olympics. It is a big park now, and it's absolutely cool, and it's really cool to just walk around because it's so well preserved. Okay guys, so that is my list of my 5 most favorite cities in Germany. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!